trying to remember how to start. Give me a second. Don't make fun of me. This is real. It sounds like something I would fake because it's been a while, but I'll do it.
Welcome to the Frank and Friends show. I'm Frank Murphy.
That's good. I'll do that.
And I'm Kathryn Frady.
This is the Frank and Friends show. Hi there. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Hello, Kathryn Frady.
Hey, Frank. How's it going?
I'm doing well, thank you. I think I'm a little too wrapped up in the details right now. Too much into my podcast recording checklist.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're the producer and the sound man and the
cameraman
and all of the things.
Yeah. So, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. I'm here, and we're on the Frank and Friends show.
we put out the new tablecloth for January, and that didn't work out. And I stood outside in the snow, and then the last thing I did on the podcast was I did the Siegfried and Joy disappearing trick. I posted this to Instagram where you play the Celine Dion song.
Okay.
It's all coming back to me, and I took the towel. In fact, the Frank and Friends show towel. Let me get that. Not the hoodie. You take care of that. But I took the bath towel, which we also call the beach towel, and you can buy this at frankandfriendshow.com/store. And I did the disappearing trick, where you sit as the music is playing. It's all coming back to me, and you throw it in the air and you run away.
Okay.
Well, that's like then I didn't do a show for what is it? It's been a month and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
My friend Bean has been checking in on me. He's like, "Are you alive?"
I mean, that's fair. You know, I mean, you don't normally go that long without recording something somewhere.
Well, you see, the name of the show is Frank and Friends, and I did one. I had no friends left.
Did you lost all your friends?
Well, you're back.
I'm here.
So that counts.
Yeah. Did you lose me in the meantime?
Yes. You were gone. You had business. You had your Baton Rouge business.
Yeah, my Cleveland, Ohio business.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how's Cleveland?
Cold, you know.
What did you do there?
I was directing an opera called Glory Denied.
Did Knoxville Opera do that?
Knoxville Opera did it, last season.
Okay,
so.
I thought I'd heard of it when you said you directed it on the social media and all.
It's about a real veteran who was captured in the Vietnam War, and he was held captive the longest in history. And it's about him and his wife.
Major Bill Robinson?
No, Jim Thompson.
Okay, because it's about an officer.
Yes.
Major Bill Robinson, is it Major Bill? Anyway, Bill Robinson was the longest held enlisted man in POW, longest held POW, but for enlisted, there's a break there. So
gotcha.
He would have the overall record, except he doesn't. He's got in his class.
Interesting.
But I met him, he's from East Tennessee, and I met him when we did I went on the Honor Air flight to Washington.
Nice.
And I interviewed him while we were up at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and we found the other people who were on his plane.
Oh, wow.
And he survived, and they obviously did not.
Wow.
So so that's who I thought you meant. But there's another guy, you're saying.
There's another guy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about inviting Bill Robinson to be on my PBS show.
That would be cool. That would be very interesting.
I don't know if he'll remember me, but he might.
Even if he doesn't, it would still be interesting
to
talk to him.
Because I remember him, so I've got a lot of questions already.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You're ready to go.
The deck is stacked. I already know. I've already done my preparatory work for that interview.
Makes it easy. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
Also, we do appreciate your subscribing on the YouTube. Thanks to the folks at Akima Cabaret. That's March 1st and 2nd at the Mill and Mine. They invited me back to do a behind-the-scenes show.
Nice.
And they are very generous in the sharing and the liking and the posting and the watching. So within a day, I mean, it's already got like more views than most of our videos because the Akima folks are just...
They share it.
Yeah, they share it and they're generous about it and they actually do watch it. And that's very nice and I appreciate that a lot.
That's awesome.
And the show's going to be good. It's 80s mixtape.
That's fun.
And I didn't realize this at the time, but all these women, I'm interviewing, they're like, oh, we don't know, we can't sing, we can't dance. They're lying, they can sing and they can dance. Because one of the Facebook friends posted a cast picture from a show I had seen at the Carousel Theater down on UT campus. It was Something Rotten.
Oh, okay.
Remember we talked about this because I took Artie Rocket to see Something Rotten, and I didn't realize that it was PG-13, and
right.
He's 9.
Right.
So he's memorized. He instantly memorizes all the songs.
Right.
And he's singing, "Don't be a blank, the man is a genius," or "Don't be something, whatever," the dirty parts. And he's singing those the whole ride home back up to Northern Virginia. Jerry and I are telling him, stop, you need to forget
everything.
these songs, or at least you have to rewrite them so that they're clean for your little brothers. You can't go singing that around the house. But anyway.
He's never going to be allowed to come back.
I know.
Yeah.
I've ruined it.
Wow.
But someone posted from the Akima Cabaret, either just posted a memory or something. They posted a cast photo. It's so great to be with these ladies again.
Nice.
And I'm looking at the cast. I'm like, wait a minute. These are some people I just met the other night who I apparently had seen in Something Rotten when Tennessee Valley Players did it. And now here they are in Akima Cabaret.
Yeah, they're totally lying. Because
Yeah,
if you're in
they're
a Tennessee Valley Players
you have to audition.
You have to audition, you have to be able to sing and act.
So anyway, Akima Cabaret, it's going to be a good show, March 1st and 2nd, Mill and Mine, so if you want to go check that out. And then they'll take, 2 years ago, they raised $180,000.
That's amazing.
And they've been doling it out.
Yeah, they give out grant awards.
Now, I've found
They
out
actually have a grant application.
from Marble City. I hope so.
Well, it's due this Friday.
We'll get that in there.
I know.
I found out a tip from the chair people.
Okay.
They like specific asks. So in other words, when Random Acts of Flowers asked for money, they're like, okay, maybe. But then when they asked for enough money to buy a new refrigerator to put the flowers in, it clicked in their mind like, that's something we want to, here's a check for the, whatever it is, the amount of your refrigerator. So they bought them a refrigerator, and they like doing that.
They like knowing what specifically the money is going to.
Right, as opposed to general operating
Broad.
expenses. So I made a note to tell you that. I didn't mean necessarily to tell you on the podcast.
That's okay. Now everyone knows.
But who knows? Maybe Alan Shearer will be watching.
Yeah, it's going to help somebody else who another organization.
Yeah, so that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of Marble City Opera and all of the things, now I'm not positive that I can crank this out before the big fundraiser, which is in our world coming up on Saturday. So it was February 24th. So you do the math. You're either watching this before or after, depending on how much free time I had. And I'm emceeing it, right?
Yes, and being the auctioneer and
Well,
general.
I'm much more stressed about the auctioneer because last year I didn't know I was going to be the auctioneer. There was an auctioneer scheduled who canceled late in the process, and I didn't find out until
Day of.
minutes before, really an hour before. When we get there, when I arrive, I find out, oh, by the way, you're the auctioneer. So I didn't have time to process it, and then it comes time to do the auction. And I'm not an auctioneer, but I'm an improviser. So I did my best imitation of the other auctioneers that I've seen.
Which was so good that you landed the position for the following year.
But it was fake, Kathryn. It was
Just fake it again, Frank.
It was me acting. I was acting. I was pretending to be an auctioneer.
That's all you have to do.
All right. Well, I realized
I'm not actually a singer. I'm just pretending.
you're lying. You're like the ladies in Akima.
I'm not actually Tosca. I'm just pretending.
Well, you're very convincing as Tosca, so
Thank you.
if you're going to imply that I'm convincing as an auctioneer, I will accept the compliment,
Yes.
but also ask for help because I realize the part I'm not good at. I'm not going to do the talking, and I can do the descripting part. I can do the blah, 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 blah. But I have a trouble with what they do is they are able to have excellent vision and they hone in on people who, make a sniffle and that counts as a bit or whatever it is that they do.
Right.
So if you can give me help spotting
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
the people,
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to lock them in and take their money, get their donation at the event.
Yes. Hold them hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another event that I want to do. You know that Bel
What,
Canto?
another event?
Yeah. You know the book Bel Canto?
No. I mean, that means beautiful singing, though. I know that.
It does mean beautiful singing, but there's a book called Bel Canto, and it's about this opera singer who goes into a country and is supposed to be like performing for them that night, but then terrorists come in and
Oh, it's a thriller.
yeah, and they lock them all into that space and that house for a very long time and hold them hostage. So I thought like a Bel Canto themed event,
Oh.
could be fun.
Like in an escape room.
Like an escape room, and you can't leave until you
Make a donation.
donate a certain amount. Yes, everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
I think maybe something, I would, like, for example, I would like to know what the amount is.
before you show up. But see, that takes away the fun and the immersiveness.
All right,
of the event.
if you are willing to keep me hostage for months and months.
The venue costs are going to skyrocket.
Until I'm able to scrape together the minimum donation, that's fine. If I'm able to somehow, get someone to wire me some funds, then maybe.
I'm stuck at a Marble City Opera event. It's gone too far. Oh my goodness.
Kathryn.
Yeah, I know. That's why most of my ideas stay, my personal ideas, and don't,
Well,
go out into the universe.
It's a good theme. I mean, I like the idea of a theme. There's some writer, I'm going to look up his name. I think it's Harlan Coben. Is that right? And it sounds like a kind of book that he should write. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Well, we came across, Harlan Coben. Came across some show on Netflix. That was like the #1 show on Netflix. And I was I don't normally watch TV. This is how you can tell I was in a depressive cycle.
Okay.
I told Jere, I said, I guess I can watch TV. All right.
Yeah.
So we watched some show. We like one episode a night until we binged through the whole thing, and it's 8 or 10 episodes. And it was, I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was about this lady who had been in the British military, and her husband gets murdered in the park, and she's unraveling the mystery. Meanwhile, the detective has got some kind of issue where he passes out and is dying, we think, and the woman is trying to piece together not only who killed her husband, but someone had killed her sister while she was overseas.
Oh my goodness.
And could it be the same killer or not? And there's a backstory at this private boys' school.
Sounds exciting.
It's very good. And the woman, the actress who's in it, I guess she was in some British soap opera. She's absolutely beautiful.
That's awesome.
She reminds me of my friend Bean's wife, actually. Yeah. She's just a stunningly beautiful woman. And she's like, in her mid-30s still. And I don't know, but she kind of burst onto the scene in America because of this, because, no one knew who she was. Right. So we thought, well, we should watch another one of these Harlan Coben stories. So we found another one. And the actor who played the husband who got murdered in the one we just watched becomes
the lead in
the victim, who's now, his wife has gone missing. It's a different character, but same actor.
Yeah.
And his wife has gone missing, and somebody may have stolen money from the soccer club, and it's a mystery, and they have to unravel. And
that sounds fun.
It has all sorts of things going on. He's a lawyer. And then we thought, well, we'll watch another one after we binged. This is how much we watched. Binged through that one. And then we pull up this next one, and there's the same guy again, same actor again.
Okay.
And this time he's in love with a stripper who has changed her identity, and he's trying to track her down. But as we're watching the preview for it, we're like, hey, we saw this one like 3 years ago and forgot about it.
Hilarious.
So we didn't watch that. And that's my Harlan Coben review. But he could do the bel canto type story.
Right. Yeah, he can help us with our event.
Oh.
He can stage the whole thing.
That's good.
Good idea.
I was reminded, I just mentioned my friend Bean. He sent me a text about somebody who died, and from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Now, I was surprised for a number of reasons, because he hates Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I enjoy them. I know they're cheesy, and I know they're pop classical, and I know it's all, I know exactly what Trans-Siberian Orchestra is. I enjoy it. If you were to go into the office, I have a record, silver, platinum, fake, record on the wall from Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Like you're a true fan.
Yeah, I did an interview with the founder, Paul O'Neill, may he rest in peace. And he enjoyed the phone interview. And at the end of the phone interview, he's like, I really enjoyed this. Can you give me your address? I'm like, okay.
And so he sent you a gift? Oh,
he sent me a Trans-Siberian Orchestra hoodie, 2 platinum records, I forget something else, tickets to the show and backstage passes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He really did enjoy that conversation.
Yeah, no wonder I'm a fan of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Well, some other guy who was only 49 years old has passed away. He was a Ukrainian composer who joined the band in 2010. I mean, when you say Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you got to kind of think of it like a regular symphony orchestra where members are replaced. People leave, people die, they hire new ones. But with Mannheim Steamroller and Trans-Siberian Orchestra, there's actually multiple versions of them.
What do you mean multiple versions?
Well,
there are multiple orchestras?
Do you know the circus? How the circus used to have the red and the blue, or the A and the B?
Okay.
And they would be touring, like Ringling Brothers.
In different areas of the country.
One would be touring the West, and then one would be touring the East at the same time. And they have slightly different shows. Well, Trans-Siberian and Mannheim Steamroller, only really do concerts around Christmas time.
Sure.
Nobody wants to hear their music January through October.
Right.
Everybody wants to hear it from mid-October through end of December, maybe the very, very beginning of January.
So they need multiple orchestras.
So they have
to be in two places
orchestras.
at one time.
They are in two places at one time. In fact, Mannheim even had 3 going this past year.
Wow.
Because the founder,
That's good.
Chip Davis, who also wrote the song Convoy by C.W. McCall, Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller did his own setup down in Orlando. He just decided, I'm not going to travel, but I'll set up at Disney World or someplace in Orlando,
Right.
and I'll do a week's or 2 weeks worth of Mannheim concerts, and people can come here and watch.
Nice.
While his other orchestras are touring. So how did they do it? The guy who died, I'm looking at him, I didn't recognize him, so he must have been in the troupe that didn't come to Knoxville.
Right.
Because each of the 2 troupes is like one original member,
Okay.
and then a bunch of other people.
That are fill-ins.
And I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you.
Do they pick people up in the cities that they're in?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They pick up session musicians.
Yeah.
So, and they're both fairly generous about acknowledging this. I mean, it's not a secret. They have them stand up and take a bow.
Nice.
And I have a picture on my phone, so maybe I can insert it here. I took some pictures when they had the musicians at Trans-Siberian. I think you were welcome to use phones there because it was at the Thompson-Boling.
Okay.
And there on the violin is our blue-haired friend, Julie Bélanger Roy.
Yay! I love
And
Julie.
so I texted that picture to her, and she was so excited because we had really pretty close seats. And I got them from East Tennessee PBS. Thank you. And I loved it. It was great, So she's up there playing the violins, very furious, a lot of violin and the guitar, and they've got fire, they got pyro effects, and they've got smoke, and they've got visual laser beams, and it's very loud.
That's all up her alley because she has her metal band.
Yeah.
Where she plays viola.
Yeah. And then a few weeks later, East Tennessee PBS gave me tickets to see Mannheim Steamroller.
Look at you.
Well, I mean, that was a nice little perk, like a little bonus.
Yeah.
It was like my Christmas bonus.
That's nice.
For all the work we did on Scholars Bowl and everything. And I get there, and my boss from PBS is also there, and he introduces me to this lady from Cruise Farms. He says to me, "You should interview her," which means you're going to be interviewing her.
Have you interviewed her yet?
Not
Is that
yet.
coming up?
That's kind of,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
If I can get her to respond to my text, it'll be in April.
Yeah.
But then we watch Mannheim Steamroller, and this tape, it's a little different setup. It's not as loud and blah 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 at you. It's a little more closer to a classical concert, even though the music has a rock sound to it.
Yeah.
But you can see the visiting musicians are right in front of me, and I recognize Sean Clare from the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra. He's buddies with my next door neighbors. I even see him around the neighborhood sometimes. I always like to chat with him, and he's very active in the community, doing playing for the sick children at the hospital, or this means violin.
The national symbol.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I don't know.
That would be
Which way?
Anyway, he violins all over the place. And I also, being a fanboy of the symphony, recognized Claire Chenette, who is the oboist. And I'll tell you, she was the best one on that stage.
That's awesome.
They gave her some oboe solos.
Nice.
It wasn't just like a little bit of it. It went like 2 minutes. Like it was a significant multiple significant oboe solos in this thing. And I was blown away by this. How did they have an oboist this good in every city?
Well, oboists tend to have to be pretty good,
Because they play that first note when the orchestra's tuning, or because?
Well, it's a hard instrument to play.
Yeah.
And there are not as many of them. And so there are going to be fewer positions in the symphonies for oboists. So whenever you land a symphony job as an oboist, you're probably one of the top people, in the country.
Because I remember wondering, her name is Claire, but she doesn't play clarinet. I thought that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, Claire who plays clarinet.
But because I'm a fan of the symphony, I was sitting next to Cruise Farms lady, right? I said, "See that lady this is an intermission. See the lady the lady on oboe? Remember the lady on oboe? Yeah. I spotted her in your ice cream shop one time, and I went up to her and told her."
You're just connecting all the dots, It's just, franking it to 8, To
8? I think we frank it to 11. So I guess you're right. That's what I was doing, wasn't I?
Yeah. You're just
I didn't think of it
connecting
that way.
those dots.
So the concert ends, the Mannheim Steamroller concert ends. We're at the Tennessee Theater. And the band does, actually in the show, they played Convoy. They played, I told you, remember that Trans-Siberian Orchestra, was one thing with the big lights and the
Right.
And Mannheim Steamroller, the founder, Chip Davis, before he was Mannheim Steamroller guy, he was part of this band, I guess, called C.W. McCall. It was him and this other radio guy. They used to do radio commercials and radio jingles. And they made this novelty song about truck drivers on CB radios trying to outrun Smokey.
Okay.
And it was a huge novelty hit called Convoy. Well, they played it in the middle of the
cool.
Christmas concert.
I mean, why not?
And they had video of Chip Davis coming on and say, yeah, I just want to say it's the anniversary of when I wrote the song Convoy, and I thought it'd be fun to have it for you.
Here it is. Well,
So
yeah.
they have, while the band is playing Convoy, they're showing these videos of Chip Davis like walking around Nebraska where he lives, going to his favorite diner, hanging out with truckers.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was great.
Love it.
So show ends on a high note with God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, or one of the ones that they're known for. And the band has come out to take their bow, and you wonder, is there going to be anything else, And then a voice comes over the speakers, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a shooting in the area.
Oh, Lord.
What?
What? In Knoxville?
Yeah. And they're like, and people we talk about
Everyone's
killing our Christmas buzz. It's like December
Yeah.
23rd, maybe.
Oh, my goodness.
It's 2 days before Christmas, and the voice comes over, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a shooting in Knoxville. If you're parked in the blah, 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 State Street Garage, which is the one right closest to the theater, or the Market Square Garage, will remain here in the theater. Those garages are currently closed because
Oh, my goodness.
they're doing an investigation, right? So what happened was there were some kids running around in Crouch Park, and they were horsing around, and somebody, fired a gun, and somebody got hit in the leg, so nobody died.
Oh, that's good.
And nobody
But you didn't know that when they
didn't know
came
that
out
at the
and said it.
time,
Yeah.
right? So they tell us that it's the Market Square Garage and the State Street Garage, because they thought that's where these kids had run to.
Right.
And they're going to try and track them down. So Jere and I, we didn't park in those garages. We always park in the one a little further away, the Locust Street Garage, because you can,
In case of these shootings.
because you can get in and get out, right?
Right. Yeah.
A little faster, and I don't mind. I can walk one extra block.
Right.
And this garage I like has multiple exits, whereas the ones that we're talking about here, they're multi-story, and you got to go down and down and down. Finally get to the exit. It takes forever. So we're walking to our little garage, or as Lori Tucker has called it, Frank's Garage,
There you go.
because I've told her about my secret.
Nice.
We're going there, and as we're getting closer, we didn't know where the actual police incident had occurred.
Right.
And we're walking, and we see the flashing lights are getting brighter
Closer.
and closer to us as we're walking toward them.
Your suspects.
Basically, we probably walked within 10 yards of the actual police tape, because they didn't tell you. Because they may have closed those garages because they thought that's where the people ran, but I actually have to walk past the crime scene to get to the garage that I'm in, because we're walking up Clinch, I think it's Clinch, right? Or whatever it is, from the Tennessee Theater, past the Crouch Park, with the woodsy part with the statues. That's where it had happened.
Oh, my
And we're walking right by it. So I said to Jerry, let's walk on the other side of the street.
Oh, my goodness.
She's like, why? The garage is on this side. Who cares?
She's like, it's fine.
Because at
They're
this
not
point,
there now.
Right. At this point, we
Yes.
can see they have called in. The UT police were there. The Knoxville City police were there. The Knox County sheriffs were there. They called in everybody.
To hang out where the crime had happened.
Well, to look around.
disperse.
And at this point, we could see that they were starting to turn off their lights and drive away. So I'm like, it's going to be fine. But it was kind of strange that we ended up right there.
That does kill your Christmas mood.
Yeah, because normally the only time I see police tape like that is when I'm doing a presentation for bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
Nice segue.
I didn't even mean to do that segue. That was
really
so good.
Yeah. Well done.
They declared the other day to be Dr. Bass Day in Knox County. And I don't even know why they did this, other than that my friend Jennifer started working as a producer at the talk station in town. And she got Dr. Bass to come in and be on the show. He's 95 and a half, and as far as we know, he's mostly retired, right? But
Sure.
he likes Bob Yarbrough. He went on the show, and they presented him. They surprised him with this proclamation from Mayor Glenn Jacobs that he was Bill Bass Day in Knox County.
Nice.
So I even did this bit on the radio. Said, I don't know why they picked today. There's nothing special about today other than that the man is about to be 95 and a half years old. And I mean, how much longer do you want to wait?
That's true. I mean, you could wait till 96, but
No.
On his birthday.
My friend Bean's like, would you joke with him about his death? I'm like, not only would I already have, because...
it's a running joke.
well, somebody at church came up to me and asked me, they introduced themselves, a guy named Scott. He said, hey, I'm going to be in the Citizens Academy, and I just saw that, were you in that? 'Cause I saw a picture of you, and are you friends with Dr. Bass? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I used to see Dr. Bass walking around my neighborhood. He used to with this walking little dog. How's he doing? So I called Dr. Bass that day. I hadn't talked to him in a few months. And I just called him up. I said, hey, Dr. Bass, this guy lives in your neighborhood. He said, he used to see you walking around with the dog. I said, how's the dog doing? And Dr. Bass starts doing. He said, that's a pretty good question to see not only if the dog's still alive, but so what about me?
Yeah, exactly.
So the books like Death's Acre and Carved in Bone. I'm going to do a presentation that's mostly based on Death's Acre about the origins of the Body Farm and Dr. Bass. I'll be doing that down in Tellico for the Women's Club.
Nice.
At the end of March. And you can hire me to do those presentations. I've got working on one, the Big Bopper exhumation is one of my favorites. I've got a cremation lecture. In fact, I was telling a guy who runs the columbarium at church how I'm working on this cremation lecture. Now I have it pretty much done. He's like, well, hey, you want to come down with me to the place where we engrave, actually it's their own, I think they also do the cremations there, but where they engrave the stones that go on the markers. Like, oh, these guys are great. You'd have a good time. So I think I might have to do that.
I still have nightmares of cremation.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be cremated either, but some people like it.
Sounds horrible.
You can get a Body Farm t-shirt in all different colors. They have a lot of orange ones too, which are good to wear now that we're getting into NCAA playoffs. You want to wear those to go Vols.
Go Vols.
Get that at bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. And we appreciate their continued support of the Frank and Friends show. So Tellico, this lady, I think I know we've told you this story before, but I'm meet her, and I had done a presentation for the Von Orr Friends of the Library. And this woman comes up to me and she says, I've got this women's group at Tellico, and I would like you to do the same presentation again for my other group. I said, but you've already seen it. She's like, yeah, but it was good.
Yeah, and they haven't seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get to talking, and I said, Tellico, huh? I'm going to be in Tellico. Was trying to wrangle a position for my wife and this other singer named Becky to be in the chorus for Marble City Opera's production of Il Tabaro. Is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Which is going to be on a barge in Tellico. I told this lady about it. She's like, oh.
And then she called me.
They're coming?
They are. They're coming.
Good.
Yeah, it was a great connection. Thank you for that.
I'm excited about that because, now the key to the whole conversation, and don't make a liar out of me, is when the woman called me up to say, we were talking some details about the Body Farm thing, and then she says to me, oh yeah, by the way, remind me again, what was that opera that your wife is going to be in?
Oh.
So either she thinks you're my wife.
No, or she knows that your wife is
could
going
be in
to
the
be
opera.
in the opera.
All right.
Yeah.
So she'll be.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. All right.
It's done.
All right. And Becky?
Taken care of. Yeah, Becky can be there too. Yeah.
How many?
I haven't reached out to either of them yet.
How many chorus members do you need in a chamber opera like that? Or is it a chamber opera or is it a medium?
Really, for us, it's about the budget. So we normally tend to have about 10 people.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It sounded great in Tosca.
Yeah. When you hire real singers, you don't need a lot of voices.
Yeah.
Because
they have strength. Yeah.
They have, powerful voices as soloists themselves.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun stuff. So, which car did you drive here today? The white one or the Kia?
I drove the white one, but because I'm trying to hide the Kia. Have you
tried putting it under a rock? Most people hide. That's a good hiding place for a Kia.
Yeah, hide the Kia under the rock. Good idea. Thank you. Brilliant. I'll just take it over to Cherokee Caverns. No, but my friend had her Kia Soul stolen out of her apartment complex overnight.
In Tennessee or Louisiana or?
Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Or San Antonio. I don't know.
Texas.
Someplace in Texas. But apparently it's because there's a TikTok video going around that teaches you how to steal Kia.
No.
Yes. And
Why
so
would you?
all of these kids are stealing Kias.
Just because it's on TikTok?
There's some challenge, see if you
So
can
they probably think there's no penalty for this. It's like some kind of innocent prank. Oh, I can just steal a Kia.
his Kia, yeah. So we're gonna.
That's a bad. It's not like Greg Brady putting a goat in his bedroom.
No.
Stealing the mascot from the other team. That sounds like a more significant Grand Theft Auto, is what it sounds like to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, what is it about Kia Souls? Because I saw a meme. It said someone just wrote Kia Soul owners are weird, and the meme was a picture of the back of a Kia Soul. It says, "But I identify as a Tesla," and
that's weird.
That was even the license plate was Tesla, and it had all of the stickers on the back.
Huh.
Have you seen a lot of Kia Souls that have just the back is covered in stickers, or is it just me?
We liked our black Kia Soul because it was black like our hearts, you know.
Oh. Well, no argument there. But there's one that parks in. It's always at Starbucks, so it must be a barista. Mm-hmm. But I remember thinking, not only was their license tag woefully out of date, but it had lots of just
stickers. Yeah.
Every sticker. If you could imagine, if you had to just only could represent a Starbucks barista in terms of stickers on a car, that's what they were.
Yeah.
It was all of the ones you would expect to see at Starbucks on
the back of a Kia Soul.
On the back of a Kia Soul.
Well, I mean, they used to sell the car with like a hamster, right?
No.
I think so. I think that there was like some person dressed in a hamster suit that would drive the Kia Souls. I'm pretty sure. I could be making that up. You have to look it up.
Have you had a dream? Maybe make that the theme of your next opera fundraiser.
There you go.
Kia. Is it spelled like the soul of your body, like your heart and soul?
Exactly.
Kia Soul hamster. I don't even have to. It's in the actual drop down.
You heard me.
Kia Soul hamster commercial, black sheep. All right. So I guess they were like computer generated CGI hamsters. Okay. I don't understand that. It was a commercial. It was not a real hamster. Okay. Well, you said.
So, I mean,
you said
they're weird.
They sold the car with hamsters.
You thought it came with live hamsters?
That's
as a bonus?
Because what you meant was they used hamsters in a commercial to sell the cars.
Yes, that is what I
meant. They
meant.
sold the car by illustrating hamsters. What I heard was...
you got a live hamster when you bought the car.
As if there were some kind of joke, like, oh, the car is powered by... the hamster will run on the wheel, and that would be how we pretend the car drives.
Yeah, I do think that's a benefit to purchasing the car. Yeah. Especially if you have kids or something.
I thought, first of all, they
comes
can't...
with a pet.
They can't sell it with a hamster. And then you said it's a guy in a hamster costume. And I thought, who drives the car? So the next thing I picture is you're at the Kia dealership and it's time for your car to be delivered to you.
And it comes with a hamster.
And they make, Steve the mechanic, Steve, go put on the costume. Oh, right. And he's got to put on the head and get in there and drive his little furry costume. And then you actually take ownership of the car from
the hamster.
From the furry.
He hands you the keys, yeah.
The furry hamster.
I think that could also work. Yeah. You're coming up with a lot of really good ideas.
I don't know. Yeah. When I was talking earlier about walking downtown from the Tennessee Theater to that Locust Garage, I started visualizing, that area. And then I remembered near there, they're talking about building a bunch of new stuff.
Okay.
And there's a possibility that they're going to build a 7 or a 9-story hotel. Now, where you did Tosca at St. John's and where you did Christmas Spider and Amal and all those shows. Right. There's a parking lot for St. John's, and part of it, they got the purple stripes, and those are for St. John's parishioners to park.
Right.
And then the other half of the lot is pay lot. When you're in that parking lot and you're looking out directly across the street, there's another pay lot.
Right. They're making that a hotel?
Yeah, they're going to use that parking lot. They're going to build a hotel. It's going to have like 4 stories of parking and then 5 stories of hotel. It's got to be approved yet, but that approval will be coming pretty soon.
It would have to. It's not going to be a very big hotel. It'll be kind of a boutique, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because even with 5 stories, like on that parking lot, it's not that big.
But then the other part of it is it's kind of weird shaped, because not only it kind of makes like a around one of the other buildings and then pops out in this alleyway on the other street too.
Yeah.
So they're going to squeeze it in there somehow. And that's just one of the 2 hotels this company is talking about building downtown. There's another one somewhere, Locust and Walnut Streets. I have to look on a map. I haven't figured out what that is. But I was there at the meeting we had a Marble City Opera board meeting. And I get there early so that I can sit in the car and watch Scholars Ball on my phone.
Of course.
Well, it was the first day of the second round.
Did you get to watch it live?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great.
I can't watch it on delay yet.
Because it doesn't come out.
Right. The only thing I can do at this point is live stream it until the summer. And I'll be honest, I am looking for mistakes. And there was a mistake in that episode where I said it was first round and it's really second round. And I don't know if I can fix that one in editing. I doubt it. But there's a few other things that I've screwed up that we realize it when it airs and somebody writes in and says, "You idiot." And if it's a simple fix and it doesn't change the outcome of the game, they can do a little snip here and there.
Right.
And when it goes on into reruns, because they're showing them all over the state now.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're showing last year's season as part of the Tennessee Education Block.
Okay.
Every day, every weekday, like at 10:30 in the morning or something like that.
Nice.
But anyway, so I'm watching it looking for what mistake did I make today. And I'm sitting there and I see the Channel 8 vehicle pull up into that parking lot across the street that's going to be a hotel.
Right, okay.
I thought, wonder what they're doing. I thought, oh, that's the parking lot. Of course they're here. That's the parking lot that's going to be the hotel. They're probably going to do a story on it. And I'm waiting to see anything happening. And there's just two people just standing there. And I realized that they're futzing with something. And on the ground is their Channel 8 drone. So I don't know why every station in town doesn't have one, but Channel 8 got a drone. Maybe they got like for Christmas, because since Christmas they've been. For Christmas. It feels like it.
Santa gave them a drone.
Because they have been just flying it over everything. Oh, here's a fire, and they get this great footage.
That's good.
And here's Neyland Stadium just for fun.
Right. Yeah.
Here's whatever. When the snow happened, that's when I really noticed it, because they were out there
taking all those photos.
Yeah, they were flying it over Cedar Bluff, and they were flying all the main roads, saying here's what this road looks like and such. So I thought, oh, it's the drone. It's the Channel 8 drone. And they're going to fly it above this parking lot to get footage of here's where the hotel might be built if it gets approved.
Right.
So I'm thinking, this is great. I want to see if I can find myself. So I'm waving.
Oh, my goodness. You didn't. I don't know why I would question that. Of course you did.
I don't think I made it into the shot, because on the report, they only used a snippet, but it was when the drone was pretty high up and the camera was pointed away from the St. John's lot where I was, toward the other, it probably was right over my head and shooting
the other direction.
So you can get the layout of where this thing's going to be. But I so wanted to be on the Channel 8 drone.
Well, you might be. You'll have to check it out.
Do you ever do that when you go to visit someplace and they've got a webcam?
I really don't.
And then you find yourself on the webcam.
It's really only you, Frank.
I did that in Southampton or Sag Harbor, one of those places.
We could
in
just
New York.
list all the places that you've done it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Acme Oyster Bar in New Orleans. Any place that's got a live
anywhere that has one.
Try to get on that.
If you do you go stand outside people's houses who have the cameras, the security cameras, outside their door?
The Ring doorbell.
And wave. I mean,
Well, wait a minute. I don't know that many.
Like, wait a minute. This is not a bad idea.
Well, my daughter has one, but I've never thought about it.
But you could pull yourself off of, your daughter's camera.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm here with the great ideas today.
Well, since I haven't talked to anybody in months, and we have to probably wrap up soon, I will tell a football story, because those are about to get out of date.
Sounds good.
My wife and I pretty much used to watch football a lot. We had the NFL Sunday Ticket, and it got to the point where, I don't know, people move away, and other things take interest. We start going to operas and symphonies and other things on Sundays, and we just lose interest. So we hadn't watched a football game in a long, long time. But because I was hoping for Eminem versus Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl, we took some interest in it. Plus, our son lives in Michigan.
Right.
And the Lions, it was a big deal. The Detroit Lions, they might make it into the Super Bowl for I think the first time in team history, maybe.
That's amazing.
I think they're like the Seattle Mariners of they've never been in the World Series.
Right.
The Lions, never been in the Super Bowl.
So
So I had some interest in the game. Yeah. But the problem I have is that my TV, my over-the-air television device that I bought a box and an antenna so I could watch free over-the-air TV. And it's hooked up to the digital TV with an HDMI cable or whatever it uses. Maybe not, it must be some other kind of cable, because it doesn't work right. I can see the pictures.
You can't hear anything?
Can't hear the sound, which is why I have to stream my own show on PBS on their web app, on their phone app or their Roku app, so I can hear it because I can watch myself on over-the-air TV. I just can't hear myself.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
But yeah, you know what? It wasn't that bad. We put the TV on with the football game, and I've got to tell you, I highly recommend watching a football game with my wife as the commentator.
That does sound fun, actually.
Because, and granted, remember, I've told you, we used to watch football a lot.
Right.
We
So
understand
yeah.
the game, and we, we're just sitting there just watching, and we don't have to hear the announcers at all. We don't have to hear anything. It's just silence.
Right.
Except that, oh, look, there's whatever happened. And I think we even may have left it on for the Taylor Swift game that was on next. But we were disappointed that the Lions lost the game that we watched.
Yeah.
And they were eliminated by San Francisco. But it also then reminded me, it was like watching it in a restaurant. I said to Jerry, that's what it's like.
That's true.
It's really no different than when we go to Jaboni's and they've got a big screen and we're watching whatever sporting event, it's some soccer game, baseball game, football game, and it's just on.
Right.
This one we're a little more interested in. We're paying attention to the scores and that. But you don't miss anything because but if there's going to be a replay, they make these big flashing graphics. It's going to catch your attention.
Right.
And one of the times we went to the Jaboni's in Maryville, we're sitting there, and when you're married a long time, you don't have to talk. There's no.
Okay.
You can just sit
I'll keep
sometimes.
Looking forward to that day.
And just eat. We don't have the conversation, or she might be looking at. What the TV that's over behind me, and I'm looking at the TV that's over behind her a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're maybe commenting a little bit on this.
Yeah.
And there's some show, and we're watching the promo. It's they have on HGTV. And it's got these faces, the people you kind of remember from other home improvement shows. Maybe they've got a new show, and
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't watched that in a long time either. And one of them catches our attention. I think I've made a note of it. It's called Vacation House Rules.
Okay.
But it wasn't the show, it was just the promo.
All right.
It was like, promo for Vacation House Rules, and I'm saying, oh, look at that, I wonder where that is, I wonder where they filmed that. And my wife's snarky comment was, well, it's on tonight at 9 if you'd like to come back.
Well, couldn't you watch it at home without sound?
No,
No.
because it was cable, HGTV.
Got you.
We cut that, and I don't pay for that many. In fact, I think I already pay for too many services.
Right.
I think I'm ready to eliminate one. We've got, PBS, Netflix, and Amazon Prime, and
I'm not really watching them all.
yeah, I think Amazon Prime might be able to just. I mean, Mrs. Maisel's over. I can probably let that one go.
Oh, I need to watch the end of Mrs. Maisel. Okay.
Oh,
I haven't seen the end.
it was like a year ago.
Well, I don't have time to watch shows. And then, if I start watching them, but I'm watching them as they're, coming out, then I forget because it goes by a week, and, no.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess you got the plan is you got to do like Jere and I do, where we just watch one episode a night for a week, and then it's over.
Right, yeah.
Although, with The Chosen, she loves The Chosen. Oh, we both love The Chosen. But she couldn't wait for it to come on TV. So we have paid actual money to go see it in the movie theater.
Okay.
But it's like 3.5 hours. All right. Now I love the show, but I also I really don't like going to the movie theater anymore because we went to see Oppenheimer and it was so long.
It was long.
It was too long. And in the olden days, they would have a long movie like The Ten Commandments or I don't know, Sound of Music.
You'd put an intermission.
They would have an intermission at the movie theater. So they would sell more popcorn that way, but also people would actually go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
The symphony. At the symphony, I've got to make sure I try to time that last note and get to the bathroom before the older men, because I can outrun the older men to the bathroom. Nice. I have to go just as bad as they do.
There's a secret bathroom on that first floor, house left.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tennessee. Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah. And then I also will go upstairs. There's a public bathroom directly above it.
Okay.
Men's and women's, but in the balcony area. But not as many people sit up there. Know
about it.
Yeah, until the line stretches out, then you figure it out. But if you can get there fast, it's small.
Right.
Anyway, this Bathroom Talk, Tennessee. That's our spin-off podcast, Tennessee Theater Bathroom Talk, inside the plumbing of the most historic theater in Knoxville. But the Chosen, they said, what we're going to do is to raise money to make the shows, is we'll put episodes 1 through 3 in the theaters for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And you buy a ticket and you go watch it. So we go. And it's nice. I mean, it's a good show, but I'm by the end of the second episode, I think actually the first episode, I said, I'm going to miss a little bit of it. I'm
That
running
is
out.
weird that they didn't put any breaks in between. The three
Well, they put a
episodes.
break between episodes 2 and 3.
Okay.
But 1 and 2, it's back to back. So that's 2
Okay.
plus hours. You're just sitting there. But during the opening, they still run the opening credits at the beginning
Sure.
of episode 2 with the Walk on Water song. And I thought, well, I'll miss a little bit. I'll run out during those credits and run back in.
Yeah.
But then they have a 5-minute intermission. And that's not long enough, as I learned, because I was sitting down at, we went to see episodes 1 through 3, and I'm sitting down it's like, almost like I'm on radio, and it's saying 3, 2, 1, I'm in my seat. Well, a couple of weeks later, we go to see episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
And same thing.
Yeah.
This time I didn't drink as much, so I made it through episodes 1 and 2, but then episode intermission, I'm going. And I didn't even make it back in time. The show already started before I got back. I'm like, I guess I know what happened.
Well, you can watch it when it comes out on television.
I did say to the lady, I said it to the lady at the concession stand, I said, now, if I miss any of this while I'm at the bathroom, is there any kind of book or reference material I could use
to catch up.
to catch up?
Do I get a little bit of a refund
And she
for
says,
that 5 minutes?
yeah, it's called the BIBLE. She was saying it to be funny. She knew that I was joking, and she was joking back with me, but I
hilarious.
thought it was fun. All right.
That is good.
Speaking of things you can hear, I mean, actually, you can, I'm sure, listen to the Bible on Audible if you want it, or any number of other books. audibletrial.com/FrankandFriends gives you the opportunity to download a book with your free MP3 credit that you'll get during your free 30-day premium membership.
And you get to keep it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every month after that, you get one. So you want to use those and make sure you keep those in your permanent collection. Or as you're a premium member, you can also listen streaming, assuming that you've got cell service as you drive around.
Assuming. Yeah.
And but that's one of the reasons why you download it. That's the
That's
reason.
the reason you download.
Like there's this road, there's a secret. There's this shortcut to Pigeon Forge that I'll take from Chapman Highway, and there is no cell service in that little windy road between these mountains. So if you wanted to, you could not stream audio in there, but you could listen to a recorded audiobook in there while you're driving. Like
that you've downloaded.
I don't know if I'd
because you
recommend
have the
that because you're also
subscription.
white knuckling it so you don't fall into the creek on the one side and get hit by a truck coming at you on the other side. I don't know if I'd recommend listening to a book in that passageway.
Well,
but
I mean,
you
unless it's
could.
already like playing,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Yeah.
And then same thing with the podcasts and all that. So go to audibletrial.com/FrankandFriendsShow. If you listen to all of the audiobooks, it would take you 300 plus years. So pick and choose wisely.
Please.
Find the ones that,
Are most important to you in this moment. Because
Yes.
as we said earlier, you know,
life is short.
life is short.
Please do buy some of our merch, like the magic towel at frankandfriendshow.com/store. Look at that! What a beauty!
It's
How about
great.
that? How
It's
lovely!
fabulous.
Fantastic.
You can get hats and sweatshirts and mugs.
The
Mo's
things-
drinking out of the mug right now. so,
Yeah. Oh, Mo's got the good mug. But yeah, and then YouTube. Do the subscribe on YouTube.
Yes,
'Cause why
subscribe
not?
on YouTube. Smash that button.
Tell
Tell
your
your friends. Invite your friends. Take all of your email addresses. You know you have more than one. So subscribe with all email addresses.
You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
All right, Kathryn. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for
As
having
you
me.
can, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm emotionally lifted by your
Good.
presence.
Well, that does tend to happen.
This is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we'll talk to you again next time.